Now here comes the #1 scorer in the G League, Kevin Porter Jr. A rare mid-range jumper, but he's got it. Off the Reeves rejection. Porter Jr. into a three. He's got it. What a start for Rio Grande Valley. Now Porter Jr. getting downhill and lays it in for two more. Now Lamb inside, taking advantage and muscles it home for two more. Playing a couple of games so far this year, you're going to get the same amount of attention from everyone on our coaching staff. Porter Jr. inside, slams it home. Trying to coach up some guys. Of course, Porter Jr. with the NBA experience in Cleveland last year. Steven Silas, head coach of the Rockets, trying to look for in this guy. Now up ahead, Queen, another dunk. Now down the lane, and a blocking foul called. It's an and one for Kevin Porter Jr. Think faster than GameStop today. Everything going the Vipers' way. Underneath, Reeves lays it in. Brooks, too strong, but Porter hauls in the rebound. And following his own miss, back and forth between these two potent offenses. Porter Jr. working one-on-one, and the soft touch off the window for two. Porter lets it go and drills it. Kevin Porter Jr. now wants a screen with 5. Wooten there to set it. Porter. Oh, man! That's a bad man, Kevin Porter Jr. 20 seconds earlier in the half. Erie has trailed virtually the entire time. Back inside to Lamb. Good contest, but it doesn't matter. Now wants the clear out. Creates separation. And off the back iron. Porter Jr. There it is. The first triple-double of the G League season. Porter, right back to work, using his entire...
Ball in the hands of Porter, taking on Lewis King, and that's a good shot, and one.
Travel, but he just takes his time. 1, 2, takes the hit, stays in the air, got it.
Brooks off the mark. You saw the attention that Porter has drawn, though.
Exactly, and that's what Porter Jr. needs to do. He did here. So this is a result of the first play. He finds his other player in the corner.
Still doing it, too.
Oh, yeah. Listen, if you get past me, then good luck. Good luck meeting her at the rim. Beautiful shot by Porter Jr. there. A little fade away.
Out of play.
And here, look, just pick and roll. You put Porter Jr. in a pick and roll, and good luck. This is just one-on-one. I know how to ball.
Great weak side recovery there by Broderick Thomas. D2 player at Truman State.
Yes, and when I say Miles Powell is shooting 47% from 3, it might go up after this game. Oh, it's okay, Porter Jr. Anything you can do, I can do better. And then Porter Jr. was like, oh, you think that's good? Here you go.
Porter, a great first half for him with 17. Scoop to the hoop, high off the window and down.
I was so impressed with Powell in that first half. Just his ability to respond. And there's Michael Porter Jr. has an ability to respond as well.
I think UConn and Stanford might be playing for the national championship in women's basketball this year. Could happen.
Listen, I'm pulling for my Huskies. I don't know who else going to be there, but I know I want the Huskies there as Porter Jr. does what Porter Jr. does. And what I love about look at this, it's an island. No other defenders, the lane's wide open. Great decision by Porter Jr.
His last 2 free throws, to your point, 3 for 5 from the charity stripe.
Pick 6. There it go.
Yep.
Reports are going to be about you. As you can see here for the pick 6, a lazy pass. Las Vegas is like, hey, man. They push him out. Could have been a mismatch, but caught the ball outside of the paint. because Brooks did his work early. Oh! Take a little look here. Again, defense turning into direct points on offense. Thomas, I thought he was going to go for it. He said, nope, watch your head. Scouts are watching.
Abdel Fattah, very complimentary of Armani Brooks yesterday in our conversation with him as Porter finishes strong inside.
The traditional route is not so traditional anymore as Porter Jr. not.
And the finish, Naz beat Trulong. And there's the three. Porter Jr. drives inside, and the acrobatic layup falls.
Another no-pass shot right there, but at least they had some action in it. You see Brooks come up for the fake screen. He slips out and gives.
Porter Jr. gets it on the handoff, gets around Gray, and hits the rainbow floater.
That's the thing for a shortened season. Some of those, either way wins can hurt if you're picking up losses early in this shortened season.
Porter Jr. already with 13. Step back Jay, it's good. Start of the third quarter back here at Advent Health Arena. Porter Jr. works his way inside and throws it down. On the run again, Hammonds throws it away. Porter Jr., nice stuff. He looks up, has to fire. Tall rebound. A good one for Kevin Porter Jr. Now on the run, he was bumped, and he banked it in. Well, first, let's take a look at Porter Jr.'s third basket of the half.
Josh Gray stretching this lead out, ensuring there'll be no more lead changes.
66 points in the paint for the Mad Ants as Porter Jr. swishes in a three.
At this point, they're going to have to take the ball out of Gray's hand and make someone else beat him.
Reeves works into the lane. Now wants it back, working against Perry. Putting him on an island. He steps into a three and knocks it down. This is the last thing you want to do is give Manny room. He's not shy. Ball back in his hands. Porter Jr., don't pick him up, he's going to do that. Porter surveys. One-on-one with Martin. Puts it in. Porter got the defense in the air. Now working inside. The floater goes. KJ Martin forces the miss. Porter again. Kevin Porter Jr. on fire. The end of the shot clock, but it's the Kevin Porter Jr. show to start. Somebody get a hand on his face. Porter Jr. again. Why not? Shooters know it. You see that first one go through. That makes all the difference. Now off a Reeves screen and gets Sestina. Right to work inside. Doesn't matter. It's a 13-0 run since the start of the second quarter. Porter finally silences. Finds the open man, Josh Reeves. Got it back. Now underneath, Skies in the lane. And with a tough finish for two more, he's got 25 to lead all scores. He's jumping off a trampoline every single time. Kevin Porter Jr.'s got some bounce as well. Fought back from a 28-point deficit. Mid-range, Jay goes down. Porter Jr. has it. Near the end of the shot clock. Driving inside, puts it in. A clutch bucket from Kevin Porter Jr. The Vipers starting to take control late in this one. Couple of baskets by Kevin Porter Jr. Give him deep, it's 9-3 early. Porter Jr. answers right back with a mid-range J. Off the Tyree made free throw. Kevin Porter Jr. connects on another three. Porter goes to work. Step back three. Oh, that's good. And we're just over 4 minutes into the second quarter. Porter Jr. has it stripped, but got it back. Porter Jr. rises and answers right back in the face of Flynn. Here's Kevin Porter Jr. One-on-one with Flynn, wins that matchup. 9:05 took getting it up the floor off of Moody's rebound. On the other end, Kevin Porter Jr. nails another long one. The final do-it-myself, I was trying to set you up. And one the other way for Kevin Porter Jr. Years. Average 10 points per game in 50 NBA games. Ball moving all over. Now Johnson down low. Ellenson wasn't looking at him. Here comes Porter Jr. Off balance. Doesn't matter.
Kevin Porter Jr., as mentioned, acquired from the Cavaliers, and there he is, scoops it in. Simmons, so Greensboro takes the lead here. Remember Simmons, who had an outstanding performance, and oh wait, that wasn't even fair, y'all. Tell you folks, Kevin Porter Jr. is nothing to play with. But that's just a little sample of what Kevin Porter Jr. can do. Just great athleticism, speed, quickness, and ways to create shots. Old man dirty game. You know, just kind of simple shots around the basket, post you up, got some good footwork around the basket as well, as Porter Jr. knocking down. Porter Jr. can do a whole lot with the ball in his hands, and ooh, wait, that was dirty, y'all. Talk about Kevin Porter Jr. saying, let me put you on rinse cycle real quick, up and repeat. Jay Martin with 10 points in the first half, double digits, and Porter Jr. is wide open and knocks down a team that can do a lot of good things, especially on the defensive end, and we saw how it's made an impact, and here it is once more out in transition, and again converting the bucket. Porter Jr. once again, that aggressive first step, so explosive, gets by you. Again.
That confidence up.
Wonderful dish and even better flush from Kenny Wooten.
Kevin Porter Jr. on the attack, little hesitation, draws that double team.
Porter Jr. with a good look at three. Well, you know, he just garners so much attention, so you can draw and suck defenders in. McCallum trying to work on Porter Jr. Quick hands there, out on the break. Nice finish.
In that stance, McCallum puts the ball in front of him, and Kevin Porter Jr. coast to coast. Yeah, we got a lot of stars showing out individually. Porter Jr., Simmons.
KJ Martin, I see you. Bad outlet pass there. I thought it was going to be a dunk or something, but he blocked it and got it out of here. That's why you don't give up on the play. Woo!
Another big-time vertical race. Spalding throws it down.
Yeah, they got to figure it out, you know. And then, let's not forget, they're excited. Oh, cookies.
Got it, hand in the cookie jar.
Pass back.
Oh, he wants it. Instead, it's a steal. Porter ahead of the pack around the back.
Good screen.
Porter connects on the triple.
Set a screen, yep.
Working the two-man game. Make shot, go. Here comes Broderick Thomas.
Beautiful pass. Just because one night wasn't your night, there's so many games that the coaches are going to have to utilize the full bench. Woo! Good finish right there by Porter Jr. I played D2, but I belong here.
Hasn't had a problem with the competition on this floor as Martin Jr. has his turn for the rim rocker. Good transition defense, though, by Wallace and his teammates. Forced Porter to reset. Into the lane, slows it down. Oh! Here's Porter, as good of a scorer he's been. How about the playmaking ability? Right on cue, he finds Lamb. Both teams still feeling these things out here in the opening minutes, and Kevin Porter Jr. banks it in. Blakeney now with 3 personal fouls. In some trouble. Porter drawing a bigger Bolden. Picked up his dribble, finds Reeves, backdoor. He up to 7 to lead the team. Porter Jr., he's got it. To Cook, the playmaker and the scorer doing a little bit of both. And the Vipers up 2 near the end of the 2-way deal with the Phoenix Suns. After his basket all tied up, but not for long. It's Lamb hesitates on that call. Now 5 on the timer. Porter Jr. working inside. Porter Jr. back inside. That one pops out, and on the follow, counted and the foul. Can we just league this man already? It is so much fun to watch him here in the bubble, but you have to wonder the mark. Porter accelerates, now steps through, and puts it in off glass. Hasn't taken long for Lamb, he tosses it back. Nice pass inside, and Reeves
went around Reeves with ease, and it's a 9-0 start for the Blue. To 12 points. Touch pass, your 7 gets denied. Martin with the rejection, and that leads to a 3 on the other end. He's been banged up through the early stages of the season. He signed to a 2-way deal with Oklahoma City, the Thunder that is. As the dump off to Kenny Wooten, and he knows what to do with that. There's that 3-point game for RGV, 4-point difference. Woolridge off target with his look for Horde. Moses Brown has re-entered after a lengthy stay on the bench. So too is Ty Jerome pushing in. 5 seconds to shoot. Porter Jr., shot clock down to 2. He'll hop into a 3-point attempt and knock it in. Opponents in the New York Catholic League of Ty Jerome, his current teammate. On the pull-up, that is smooth. Broderick Thomas from deep. Broderick Thomas. Here's Thomas, the pump fake and the drive and the lay-in. This matches the largest lead for OKC. Can RGV shoot itself back into this one? From a coach's challenge standpoint, you could only challenge something that happened. That's a long lob to the rim. That is a long-range hookup from about half court. Tracking down Queen for the rejection. Smooth-looking stroke. Oklahoma City trying to keep pace. Wide World of Sports complex. Playing catch on the perimeter, and Sean Osius knocks in a 3. And they've been able to groom both NBA players, those under NBA contract like Pokuševski. He's got NBA experience and has just been a solid member of the foundation for the Blue this season. A baseline rim run. Is trying to impact his coach's decision. There's Porter Jr. challenging Brown at